Northstar is back, and it has a brand new built engine and turbo kit, and CSCS Round 1 is literally the first time the car is being driven at speed. What could possibly go wrong? And will the car hold up against being driven by Chris the Madman? The weather was beautiful at the season opener for CSCS 2019, and we were set to shake down Northstar after a one-year hiatus. Although the previous version of Northstar was great in production class, we decided to step things up in street class, and that it was time to see what the platform could really do. The car now has an engine built in-house using Mahle forged internals, IAG spec connecting rods, and the twin scroll Fury kit from Killer B with Garrett GTX 3576 Gen 2 Turbo. So it's all hands on deck right now. We are doing a last minute wheel swap, and then we're going to be going out for our first session to shake the car down with the new turbo setup on. Really exciting stuff. And yeah, hope it goes well. After being out of this car for one whole year and a new engine in the car, we had a few things to get used to again, including the lack of grip when Trofeo R's are brand new and not yet scrubbed in. But, like riding a bicycle, it didn't take too long at all for Chris to start finding his pace with Northstar once again. The first session was quite literally the first time Northstar was truly being driven at speed. With a new engine in the car but the chassis the same, the car felt familiar but different. For those of you who aren't familiar, Northstar always had the original OEM engine and turbo setup to showcase what could be done with a bolt-on parts car. However, after many winning seasons with the car, we decided to bump the car up a class to showcase what could be done with upgraded internals and turbo. However, as with any new setup, there was a bit of teething. During the car's first session out on track, at the end of the second hot lap, the car was hesitating and it was apparent that something was wrong. Back at our pitting area, we immediately began to diagnose the problem. We quickly found the culprit. A melted vacuum hose for the wastegate was causing it to malfunction. Heat protection for these components was on our list of things to do after the event, but with the time crunch, we were just hoping for the best. Alright, thanks, eh? Yeah, okay, thanks. In the true nature of Canadian time attack, the good folks from Can Jam did not hesitate to help us out with a new line and some heat protection for it so we could get back out there. With the new part in, we went out for a new event called Lunch Attack, where we would submit a time for the finals even if we did not qualify. A few hot laps in and all seemed well, and Chris was back to destroying curbs. At the end of the shortened lunch attack session, he ended it with a 1 minute 38.139, which beat out his old lap record in production class. But Chris was hungry, and with the added power, he knew there was more to come. A quick check on the engine and a prank on James, and we were back on the track for the next session. Now came the real test, a full-length session with James in the passenger seat to impress. At this point, I'd like to point out how amazing the car sounds overall. It is really quite subtle for a car with a bigger turbo, dual vent to atmosphere wastegates, and minimal resonation. Chris was trying to push the car during this session, but was limited mainly by the awkward gearing and RPM limit for this particular track layout.
Fuck again. Pumped up? When I hit that bump. Fuck. I feel like I need a higher rev limit. Cause like as soon as I go into fourth, there's nothing.
Yeah, you're definitely like coming up to the red line like so fast.
Yeah. But all things considered, the good news was the car was running strong the entire session and we could focus on some other things. Alright, so we just removed the fog light right there for some extra air, some last minute modifications, a little bit of weight reduced there. Feels like about maybe, what do you think, 30 grams right here? 40 grams? Weight savings?
That's gonna make the difference, man.
Every gram counts. Some unneeded things in the trunk that we've taken out. Oh look, James found some tissues and stuff like that to take out. Oh no, I zoomed in too much. Grams, bro. Grams. Oh man. The pile keeps growing.
15 pounds.
Windows next, right?
Doors.
Door cards and then windows. Just keep the driver's door in. That's all you need. So, I think we can take back anything behind the B pillar. And we're bored, so we're gonna take out some stuff. Da, 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 da. Oh, we got more to go. Along with the weight reduction, we asked for a revised map from Ray at TurboTech Tuning, who raised our redline by 500 RPM in hopes that we can stay in the power band for just a little bit longer. But those alone wouldn't be enough to make up almost 2 seconds of time, which is what was needed to surpass P1 in our class. For that, we would need Chris to drive like he had an angry badger on his head. Here is one of his final laps. During the finals, that 500 RPM bump proved to be absolute magic. At this point, the announcer was going absolutely mad since Chris had closed the gap between the two cars so quickly and unexpectedly. After watching this lap over and over again, it was clear that Chris was on a mission to leave it all out on the track for this final round. Oh my goodness. 400ths of a second. Yo, he's caught. So we did it. We won. Christopher Richardson takes it by 400ths of a second. Over Lucas Cicerone. Oh my god, that was an unbelievable finale.
I feel like I gotta be second. Second would be fucking amazing. After everything that happened. Thank you. Fuck yes.
These guys in the street all-wheel drive, they just zoomed away and left the field. These two guys, it's like they had their own little personal battle going on where these guys are just trading blows and trading lap times. That was pretty amazing to see these two cars do that.
Yes, it was. Subaru versus Subaru.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That was so good. What's up, brother?
You beat him by 0.3 or something.
Found him by the podiums. Nice.
I didn't even see half of it. I was
No, we didn't.
half on the track, half not. I'm like, dude, what is going on? I was just like,
That's insane, man. You
raising the rev limit was like good, and I didn't go into fourth at all. It was amazing.
That's awesome, man.
Blown away.
Sometimes things work out.
I didn't even know how
500
much rev I was
RPMs.
just like, go.
Oh, Northstar.
Like swirling. Just coming in hot, there's a bit of like.
Whenever testing a new platform or build, we never expect things to go completely smoothly. However, today the issues were minor enough for us to overcome with what we had. A few generous lending hands and an extraordinary effort from the driver was enough to take P1 in round 1 of CSCS 2019. Stay tuned to see our coverage of CSCS round 2 and hit that subscribe button to make sure that you are up to date on all of our latest videos.